Startup Lab.
I grew up near Boston, Massachusetts, went to West Point after high school, served in the Army for 5.5 years in the infantry and in special operations, ended up deploying 4 times, twice to Iraq, twice to Afghanistan. Got out, went straight to business school, pursued a career in finance, which brought me to New York City.
I grew up in a little Palestinian town within the Israeli borders, and throughout my career I worked mostly with traumatized kids who have been influenced by the violence that is going on in our region. And then I came to the US to get my master's, went to Columbia University, and then ended up staying for my doctorate, and that's a long time in New York City. So you become, in a way, part of that elite club almost, whatever that is, whether it's academically or career-wise or through the sports. And then you go, and then what? There's that sense of responsibility almost that you need to reach hand and bring people along with you. There is something nice about it, about the expertise idea, but then there is that responsibility that I felt that I need to take that knowledge and give it to many of the people who didn't have the opportunity that he and I had, so they can discover, so they can improve with the idea that we're providing them with the tool, which really means automating all of this expertise.
We said, you know what, enough with the brainstorming and having fun over dinners. Like, if we're going to do it, let's get real, let's do it, and what is the next step we're going to do? And we came back from that trip and we did a little research and said, we talked to our respective networks and friends and said, okay, this is what we got to do, X, Y, and Z, to get this thing from nothing to moving. But through our consulting work and having a foot in academia and a foot within the consulting world, saw clients asking for things that to her were basic. Mm-hmm. And she was frustrated because, again, she's the type of person that wants to push the limits, wants to go beyond what is comfortable. And I think only in that sense is when you can truly succeed and get better. From my business school background, I had to dust off a few books and refresh on a number of things. But through the network that I have through business school, I reached out and still do on a regular basis. I have friends who are entrepreneurs, who have started companies, who have sold companies, who are still always on to the next thing. So I reached out to a number of my contacts at first, saying literally, day one, what do I do? First of all, the basic advice was, first of all, nothing's going to go to plan. And because of course I came in, I'm like, well, we're starting this in the summer, we're going to incorporate, and then I'm going to leave at this time, and then this is going to happen. And they said, well, all right, that's not going to happen. The timeline's never going to work. You're always going to spend more money than you think you need, and be prepared to fail and fail fast and fail often. I don't want to say overwhelming, but it's definitely a lot more is coming up faster as we get closer to really kicking it off.
I think I reached a point where I could not bear that idea anymore, that I am not taking that leap of faith to actually give it all of my hard work and see what happens.
It's a long list. I think for me, it's the unknown, because I've never, and to your question now, my career path, relatively so, has been conservative, West Point Army, banking. I've always had a secure place, a secure job, secure paycheck. I've always envied entrepreneurs. I've always wanted that, will and that spirit. I always used to say, well, I just need somebody with an idea and I'll do it. And I meet her and she's like, I have an idea. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do it. But for me, it's just that it's the unknown. It's because it's something I've never done, because, not having a secure paycheck and having to analyze the world and what I'm doing completely different from what I have always comfortably known. And that's also at the same time what excites me about it, and what I'm most excited about is because I'm scared because it's the unknown. That's why I want to do it. I would say just kind of line up resources as early as possible. Do your due diligence to find out what you need to do, even if you know you're not going to do it in the process and the timeline of things. Listen, I'm not going to be able to. I don't need to touch this topic for another 3 to 4 or 5 months. Know who you need to talk to and know what you need to ask when you get there will make that process smoother for you.
Sure. Two things. Enjoy the wins that you have along the way because they give you a lot of energy for when things are not going that well.